We'll be starting really soon. Promise. Alright, the stream is, ready. Let's just keep going here. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Axel haunts me even in the stream. What do you mean? We're not playing Strive today. Axel haunting you? I think you just, you're a little scarred by the matchup. And the PTSD is kicking in, really. Time for recap. Kazuma here being hypocritical on how we do court proceedings while throwing out Hadokens, and Shin shows at unruly and unreliable witnesses. Basically, yeah. Hello everyone, I'm sorry for the late stream today. I'm a whole hour late. Normally I like to stream at 2. However, today, I had a wonderful time at the post office trying to mail a piece of mail to France. only to quickly realize that customs for France requires a phone number. So I literally waited in line for over an hour to be told that I can't mail this because I don't have a phone number of the recipient. So, yeah, sorry for the late stream. I did not expect to be there for so long. However, sometimes that's just the way life goes. Other than that, day's going pretty well, honestly. Have lots of coffee. Probably gonna have a fish sandwich like halfway through the stream because I haven't like eaten anything yet because I haven't had a chance. Day's been absolutely crazy. But you know, I'm still excited to play some more Ace Attorney. Really enjoying my time with the game so far. I think I am gonna put like parts 1 and 2 on YouTube pretty soon. I didn't get a chance to put part 1 up, mainly because I don't know. I guess I just didn't think about it till now. How is everyone in the stream doing today? How are you all feeling? Hello, Kithrin, Nidus Legend, and Zen, and Daywitch as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feeling sound in a text chat? What does that mean? Good, but it's hot. I agree with that. It's very hot. It's actually one of the reasons why streaming, some more, I guess I should say, hardware-intensive games can really make streaming difficult. Because the GPU gets so hot, and I have tons of cooling. I have like 5 fans in my case and a huge-ass CPU fan. However, that doesn't stop my room from getting hot. And often when I'm streaming in here, it gets upwards of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I think is about 30 degrees Celsius for Across the Seas viewers. But yes. Hello, hello. So yeah, as for the rest of the schedule for the week, I didn't get to post one because I can't access my template that I made for schedules for some reason. It's acting very weird with Photoshop itself. But we're gonna be doing for the rest of the week. Aside from this, this is probably actually gonna be the last session of Ace Attorney for the week. Instead of doing one on Friday, I think it's just gonna be today, and I'm gonna put out a video so everyone can kind of watch and catch up, maybe. I think that's the way I'm gonna do it. Tomorrow and the day after, we're gonna figure out some other fun games to play that I probably own and haven't touched yet. Or we might just do some funny internet shenanigans. We'll find out. We'll find out real quick. Anyways. Yeah? How about we just get into the game then? I play a lot of Kirby music on the stream, but I've actually never played Kirby myself. I've been told about it, and I feel like because Kirby is, like, so easy, I wouldn't gain too much enjoyment from it, because I like a little challenge, and from what I've heard, Kirby is, like, a hyper-relaxed game. But, you know. Who knows? Who really knows? Okay. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I still think mouthful mode is horrifying. I don't know who came up with this, but like, why? Why do you hate children? I mean, it's actually understandable why you would hate children, but like, why do you hate fun? Why do you hate Kirby so much. Yeah, that's me. Here we are. Dun dun dun. Bum bum bum. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. To hate is to not understand, and one cannot understand the void of Kirby, for he is endless and infinite. I agree with that. Kirby is truly endless. I remember seeing like an ending to one of the Kirby games apparently is like Kirby stretches his mouth over an entire planet and like eats it or something. Like he doesn't eat it, but like he protects it somehow. I don't know, Kirby's a scary concept. I actually watched a whatchamacallit. Watched a retrospective on Kirby. Brought some new light to my eyes, some new understandings to my mind about Kirby. Yeah, Kirby lore is dark. Yeah, I watched a couple of Wooly's videos on it. He did a fantastic job. What a beautiful, wonderful sound. This is such an awful sound that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da over and over again. Really, quite horrific. How far are we into the stream? 17 minutes? Okay. Yeah, we can get going here. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb! My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. I was... Oh my god, I was making jokes about Cosmo being into you, but he's like, you were just so sweaty and hot and beautiful. Oh my god. Nidus Legend redeemed hydrate. I'm gonna go to sleep. I just wanted to hydrate you. Thank you so much, Nidus. Sleep well. Your eyes... your eyes were drenched in sweat? Your eyes were sweating. And your muscles were popping. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and yet you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it! It's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see inside of the courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett. A student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. Oh hey, a gun! Gun's supposed to be pretty natural in this world, seeing as how, like, he just bent over to pick it up. It's like, oh, it must be his gun. I'll just hand it back. Like, if I saw a gun on the floor, I would be really concerned. You know, if you pick up a gun off the floor and go to, like, hand it to someone, who knows, they might assume that you're trying to, like, shoot them. That is not the way you should handle the situation. You should be like, excuse me, waiter, there is a firearm on the floor, and, like, bring, like, public attention to it. Because, you know, if you pick up a gun and you start walking over to someone's table, that's how you get shot and or stabbed. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after I bent down and picked it up. Bang! Kitchen gun. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of... he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are, both of you. Well done. Was this the guy? It's the guy! I'll still respect Kazuma for making that deduction about Giselle being here, outfoxing a pretty damn good detective in Hosonoga. Yeah. You dropped your wallet, and also this gun! He just tries to hand him back his gun, and he's like, is this gun yours? He's like, no, I don't think it's mine. And Ryunosuke, like, shoves it directly in his face. He's like, please take a closer look. I think this gun might be yours. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes. It seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. What? What are you saying, Cosmo? This dude is like the literal opposite of Larry Butts, right? You have Butts over here from the original Ace Attorney series, and he's over here being a bumblefuck and forgetting every single fact for the case. I know Kazuma's supposed to be more like Mia Fey kind of figure, I kind of see, but he's also your best friend, so he kind of takes that position of Larry as well. Oops. So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then. It looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UME. And it was I who invited him. Oh shit, this is really bad. Huh. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Oh, that's really bad. You invite someone overseas and you're personally talking with his accused murderer. That makes you look suspicious AF. The fact that he's even talking to us is kind of amazing, honestly. That means he really believes that we didn't do it. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. It's very polite. Defendant Naruhodo! You piece of shit! Get in courtroom right now! I will kick your ass if you're not in there in 3 seconds. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what's hit 'em. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. It's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just any battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. I like his change in demeanor over this case. This is a really cool progression for Ryunosuke. I'm a huge fan of the way they're taking this character and like turning them. It reminds me of Case 1 of Ace Attorney all over again. That's how it makes me feel. I think I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals. Okay, he says sukiyaki, but that's all I hear is Chip from Guilty Gear screaming sukiyaki when he attacks. That's all I remember. That's all that makes me think of, is Chip going sukiyaki, and then me losing my entire health bar. One of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. I pay my taxes, I can't be arrested, says Kazuma. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think that there's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. The friendship between our nations is really so, or if the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up, shut up! You jumped up, rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. Wow. Now she's really, really a shitty patriot here. Oh, that animation was so neat, seeing him, like, wipe the sweat off his face. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I really do appreciate, like, small details like that. I don't know, it's really nice. Whoops, I accidentally skipped the dialogue, somehow, by clicking off the screen. What did he say? By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Ryunosuke, calm down. I won't deny that I'm no expert, I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror, my eyes never close. I never learned how to blink, Kazuma. Help me. I haven't blinked since I was born. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Alright, let's see. What is Giselle all about? Oh my god, that is a hat. Damn. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea! Someone find tea! I don't care where you get it! I don't care who you have to kill! Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonoga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but... Yes, we know about you! Shut up! I'm trying to get in there. Could you move out of the way, please? Thank you. I still got game, you know? Says prosecutor Ouchie. Everyone, did this murder suspect spit straight facts? Yeah, I know. Ryunosuke is very good at, being the underdog in this situation and coming up with the facts. Inspector Hosonoga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Is she finally gonna talk? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Listen, lady. I don't speak wingdings. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? She's just whispering in her ear. The lady says that her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical facility. The faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'd obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Oh no, we're gonna have to do this every single time. I feel like this is gonna get old really quickly. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. And you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the crime scene, I'd like to think that everyone questioned Hosonoga on understanding her, and his response being, no, I'm just really good at reading weird subtitles. Yeah, those are a weird way to show off English subtitles, honestly. Could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening. And sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes. It would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order, order in the court! It's the first time we've heard it so far. Very happy. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I bet if she ever freaks out, she's gonna scream at us directly in Japanese. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself, only, a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. What? And not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, obviously, so I couldn't have been the culprit. That explanation doesn't explain it all. Oh. I didn't get to read that because it was so quick. That didn't explain at all how her entire meal ended up on his side of the table. Does she mean to tell me that she got scared and ran away, and then the dude, like, got up from his chair after being shot directly in the chest and then sat down in her chair in front of her meal and then died? I don't think that's what happened, lady. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. And look at this Snow-White angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Rinosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. What do you want from me? Speak up, don't speak up, but speak up, but how dare you speak? What do you want from me, Kazuma? What do you actually want? But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. Ouchie's thirst is making the Pacific Ocean look dry. Don't speak, but speak up, exactly. Knowing AA, Ryu probably is gonna try and pull the bird itself was an elaborate gun weapon. Oh yeah, something like that. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Well, yeah, she has a huge-ass hat. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Exactly. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have a hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. What do you mean you have nowhere to hide a gun? You could hide it all over your body. You could put it in your sleeves, in your hat, in your boobs, in your mouth. I don't know. It goes anywhere. Well, maybe not in your mouth. That's kind of ridiculous. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. You could probably even hide it in her hair. She has, like, those huge curls. This is ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Whoa, Rinosuke! Don't think about doing anything rash, Rinosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, that shit-eating grin. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late lunch with Dr. Wilson that day. Yes! Yes! After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? Attention! You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. It was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. I'm pressing that as well.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hoda Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of this fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have here shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. Ouchie is here. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water. Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water, so it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Where's his glass, then? That's missing as well. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful. Oh, shitty table slap again. The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to... Wait, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. Ryunosuke, head empty. Every time I have the answer, Ryunosuke, like, stutters, and he's like, I'm like, Ryunosuke, just say it. Just say it, Ryunosuke, you're being so dumb right now. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Everything I do, you're disappointed in me. This is where it's wrong. Let me examine. There's only one glass. So, this is definitely gonna be one of those moments where I think Ace Attorney's gonna be like, no, you're wrong, but let's go for it.
Yes!
Yes! That's it! Let me confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That's correct, the lady says. Well, that is... It's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what odd is the defense inability... Wait, no, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Itself? I mean, it? Not himself, it's itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers. Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here. we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a minute? Minute? Is that, I guess that's how you say it. Minute. What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case? Minute, you say? Oh, I hit the desk. Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. There should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1? It's pronounced minute. Oh, minute. I'm so stupid. I don't think I've ever seen that word written out before. I've only heard it said. Thank you for fixing that. I was like, what word is this supposed to be? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady just say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! So you moved the entire dining set? What do you mean? What kind of explanation is that? Sorry. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no— What do you mean it's of no consequence at all? She literally rearranged the entire crime scene, and it's like, well, she has nice boobies, so she can't be wrong. Oh, please. You must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. So you're saying her natural reaction was to rearrange the entire dinner table as being scared? What are you trying to say in the courtroom? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No, no, no. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Got scared and then stole 10 tables under her dress. Oh no, I need to get my presentation. Also hide any trace of my existence. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? She just stole it? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end oh yeah, we're trying to confuse you with logic. I'm so sorry, Aoshi. How dare we use logic in the courtroom? My bad, I'm in the wrong place. I'll just sing next time. Simp over some lady. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed. The lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. What? I think henceforth we consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. There, it's the handbag. It's where she could have hid the gun. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It really is very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. It's true, the murder weapon, or the true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonoga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! He used logic, how dare he! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie, that you're fucking dumbass? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Sorry, I ate more thumbtacks on the way here. Blueberry's my favorite. Well, sorry, what a situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. What? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. What do you mean you forgot about it? Forgot, sure. Let's go with that. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Okay, so there's a couple things here that already strike me as weird. A, the see-through handbag's kind of strange. It's like asking to get your things stolen. B, this blood spot on his wrist, which could have just been him holding his hand up to his chest after he was shot. But it's still kind of unexplained, because you wouldn't hold your wrist over the wound, you'd hold your hand over the wound. So it would be like, why exactly? As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ugh. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh no, he took damage! Order, order! Inspector Hosonoga, will you submit that print as evidence at once? Certainly, Your Excellency. You're a really bad investigator. You're skipping a lot of steps that you should be taking in order to make sure this goes well. You're like, I looked at it and that was enough. I didn't see anything when I walked by, so we're fine. You know? The photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photograph print just submitted into the courtroom at complete last second that you somehow forgot about appears to have no further significance. I'm satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. The gun wouldn't be in there if he was shot and the gun was on the ground. I mean, while the gun that was on the ground was the one that Ryunosuke picked up, and the gun was never fired until Ryunosuke picked it up. So what we're more focusing on is the possibility of a second gun. Either that, or she somehow managed to fire the gun from Ryunosuke's hand remotely somehow. Which would be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than when I was at the start. Kazuma, are you dead? Did he just die? The stress of the courtroom was too much for me. I leave this to you, Ryunosuke. My final words. Goodbye. He just dies immediately in the courtroom. Or she is the gun controlling a robot body from the duck which controls the human body by moving the hair? What? This is a weird Ratatouille spin-off. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat while the strong eat. You're wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact that you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma? What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. We've been here a good 15 minutes. I have better things to do. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, yes! I hereby find you... Yes! Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet. Attention! This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Yes! I didn't even realize Ryunosuke had gloves on. What? I didn't see that. Did he always have that on? Huh, I never noticed that. Are those like archery gloves or something? Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question. Oh, I like how he's taking what the judge said and just turning it on him, right? This isn't a moment of he's like yelling out of nothing. He took the judge's words and twisted them to his advantage. That's sick. This blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There could be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. It's because you're looking at the wrong place. Ha, my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate. But this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by a response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonoga submitted before. You will identify for the court where this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. It's right there. I love how it moves when you move the cursor. It's actually kind of neat. It's this. What is that?
Yes.
Look at this here. It's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. But I just realized that mark upside down looks like a cow skull. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Like from a gun.
Attention!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing to do whatsoever with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we've no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. Yeah, it looks like a brand of like a cow skull. Huh. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown... Wait, hold on, let me check the court record. Uh-oh, he's grown up in this Death Slam game. Prosecution is in trouble now. I just want to see if there's anything in this photo at all. Just checking through. Let's take a magnifying glass. I want to take a look at her. Okay. That's all I wanted to see. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Just give up, Council. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence... Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed the burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Obviously, it's my badge, it's my collar. Duh. Bullet wound did not pass through the body. Okay. Let's take a look at the dinner table again. Let's see. They could have touched the hot plate, but that wouldn't create that shape of burn. And I can't see a way the steak would make that shape either. Those are the only two hot things around aside from maybe the gun barrel itself. Oh, on the corner of the plate. I see it. The little cow skull. I didn't notice this before. That's it. He burned his hand on the plate, but in order to get a burn that deep, you'd have to hold your hand on it. So why would he have held his hand down on the plate like that?
Yes!
What's this, Council? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look back at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. I'm sure she minds, but she's not gonna say shit. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
Hey, Shirkman. You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What's in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? Right there.
Yes!
The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Oh! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Oh! This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Rinosuke, you're a genius! I will make love to you when we get home. I mean, I will buy you dinner. You're spot on. Which means, the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that's the case, We can't even know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. What do you mean? The coroner can easily tell when when this happened. What are you talking about? Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonoga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonoga never heard the inspector scream, not on that day or any day before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself and the sergeant and the old antiques dealer, all of us, without any question, would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Professor Professor? You're not even good enough to be a prosecutor. Wouldn't you agree, Prostitute Ouchie? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting... Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already? Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! Order, order, order. Please, counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. So, that's a very short time frame to die, but nothing truly happened to him. 1 second. Nothing truly happened to him. Which means that... whatchamacallit? Which means that between the conversation Ryunosuke had with Dr. Wilson... Is that his name, Wilson? Whatever, doesn't matter. Between the conversation Ryunosuke had with him, and between the time picking up the gun and saying goodbye, he had passed away. At least that's what I would think. Or it could have happened afterwards, and there's just a lot of eyes missing from the situation. The victim was killed by a gunshot? That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just a ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Professor Ouchi. It is you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon. As soon as it became apparent the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, you're canceling your dinner date. That you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency! The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. I love this judge. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. You speak perfectly fine? Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese. Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Bitch just insulted her entire culture. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Well... You're the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We're truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. That curtsy. So we're finally going to get to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Oh, here we go. We're getting somewhere now. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak and the professor and I raised our glass in a toast, as far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there was some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Would we be able to pick up on poisons? I guess not. It's probably poisons we haven't even heard of because they're just purely an overseas method of poisoning. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history, thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. Oh, thank you for following, Void. Hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? That guy pays me. May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Uh-huh. Oh no, she invoked the word of God. She has God and anime on her side. Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed this little bully of a student, as you put it. Doesn't miss much. His face. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Oh, that's the first time I've seen that one. Let's go. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrists like that.
Yes!
But his hand was on a searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't have not noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you? Huh? What? Ugh! How can she even see that? We have a desk in front of us. Haha, what fun. I hadn't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke's looking at us right now. He's like, bro, that's cringe. Stop being so cringe. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Well, I can't. Anyway. The soldier isn't the only one with military-grade eyes, I can see. Exhibitionism is cringe, Ace Attorney. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses to a toast.
Yes!
I'm just gonna press all of these. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson is only permitted to drink water... was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table... I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. Ah, I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. Although she's just like, anyway, on every statement. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. This is what I'm interested in. This one and the next one, because this will prove to me if the Japanese, morticians, I guess I should say, and, medical experts are able to detect certain types of poison or other things. Because we know that, obviously, there was a gunshot and that part's not fake. But that doesn't say anything about what he drank or was in what he drank. I don't know the different poisons we tested for.
Yes!
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And there was no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from the gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But that doesn't make any sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Ugh. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yes!
I'm gonna press this a little bit. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there's always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonoga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. Except for the part where I missed that thing, and that other thing, and the 5 things that I missed on this case, and the evidence that I forgot to show. You know, all that stuff. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchie, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Yes! This is the part I was the most curious about. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Wait, what did he just... What's this? I've never seen this happen before. It doesn't even occur that your naive detectives to... doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try and preserve the crime scene. She must have infected with fox dye. Yeah, right before he died, he was like, "Fox, die!" and then fell over. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. Haha, killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie's finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Yeah, that thing he did. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean About Miss Brett. Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonoga. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Oh, that's a cool mechanic! You can press different people on the thing? That's cool. Alright then, I wonder what Cosmo's thinking. Find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? Okay, let's just skip to the part where he says the thing.
Wait.
Right there. I noticed this. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find that they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue. I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? What is this? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. Oh, you can switch between them. That's so cool. By moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witness, you'll be able to pursue them by pressing space. If you catch the person just at the right time, you might uncover new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so I should first move the marker across with A and D and focus on the detective. Then pursue a space and see what's on his mind. Here we go! Exactly, which means even if the investigation takes a different direction... D! D! Thank you. Pursue!
Excuse me!
Excuse me! Oh, what's the meaning of this? Oh god. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was just lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there is something you'd like to say, please share it with the court. What's the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. You can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonoga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Oh, what are you hiding, buddy? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonoga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have any evidence lacking on Wymoch. Wymoch, yes. That is Japanese. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. I really like this character. Like, his expressions and the way he carries himself, I liked a lot. I think, like, so far Hosonoga is really cool. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle, I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. Court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Oh, now we can take a look at it. Miss Brett? Give me a second. Give me a second. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. Aw. The French are hurting me so much today. Today my entire day has been hindered by France. I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. What kind of solution is that? You could say you just don't know. Let's see, this can't be it. Oh, I forgot, it's WASD. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, though it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke! You can't do that, that's evidence! For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh, no, you're right. Yes? Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. In more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Interesting. Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes. It was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Please do show you. Fine.
Yes.
I didn't mean to press that. I wanted to present evidence. 1 second. 1 second. We're gonna have to go through all this dialogue. I didn't mean to press that. Can I go back? No, no. I wanted to go back. Ah. I wish I could skip this a bit faster. I know, Kazuma. I know what we have to do. I know. Here we go again. I'll get it right this time. Time to burn France, and no one burns France rather than the French themselves. Oh no. I'd rather not burn France. I have friends that live there. Okay. Present! What? I just want to present it.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order! God, be quiet. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and was able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett, it was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one's individual guilt with respect to one crime. Whoa. The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. God damn, Kazuma, you're so cool. Ahem, if I may. I will silence you forever for this disgraceful... Damn! It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady? Where did that come from? She just snapped! I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did! Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. But did you test the inside of the glass that she hid in her bag? That's where the poison is. It's not in the bottle. It was added afterwards. Or it could have been added in the glass, and while he was talking to him, freaking switch it around even. I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! No! I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot from the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, The accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is the only possible... Couldn't they have checked if the gun actually had fired any bullets or not? Because I don't know if it said that, though. I'm done for. Court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point? Yes, I do. I have an idea already. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Who? Who? You! Please, wait! Isn't that... What's the meaning of this? Please forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Woo! Damn. They put up a fight. Ryunosuke is over here fighting for his life. Hot damn. This case is getting good. I mean, granted, I can see what she brought. I bet she either brought the wine glass or something else. But damn. I'm really having fun with this game so far, and I can definitely tell, although there aren't that many people here, the amount of people that show up to this like stream in particular, and compared to my normal streams, I'm glad that everyone's enjoying this, because this is a lot more people than I normally get when I stream. So I guess the visual novel stuff I do is definitely among the more entertaining, and I'm definitely having a lot of fun having not played a visual novel in a while, especially one that I can use my voice in as well. So very excited. However, I do think I'm going to be stopping it here, and I don't know if we're going to stream any more of this for the rest of the week, because I do want to get these episodes out for people to be able to watch on YouTube. So we're going to get working on that. However, I will still be streaming tomorrow and the day afterwards. We're taking these cases one part at a time per day, but I think that's kind of okay, you know? I like where this is going, and I like kind of the pace we're at, because it's about like 2 hours every stream, a bit shorter than my normal streams. Maybe once I get a bit more comfortable with my voice, we'll go for like multiple parts of stream. We'll find out. Either way, thank you all so much for watching today, and I'm really enjoying my time here. I really enjoy this cast of characters. Every single one so far is kind of just been fun to watch, and I think at the very least, the only issues I have with it so far are the kind of the cases being gated by tutorials. Granted, that won't happen on the cases from here on out for the most part, I imagine. But yeah, man, having a really good time. Okay, well, I'm gonna head out now so I can devour food. I will leave you all to have a wonderful, beautiful day. See you all tomorrow and the day after. I have no idea what I'm going to be streaming yet, but we'll find out. See you guys next time. Red and out.